Hello, Math 96. So today we're going to do notes page 85, day 1. So we're only going to do a little bit of the notes. Your essential question at the top of the page is how are expressions rewritten in radical notation from rational exponents? And make sure for tonight for homework that you make up any missing triad number 5 digital workbook assignments because they are due by this Friday. Okay. Should happen, didn't change. Okay, so here's a picture. I know it's a funny looking picture, but this picture should help you remember the idea of power over root. So this is a Power Ranger. Notice he's standing over tree roots, right? So he's standing on the ground, but there's tree roots underneath him. So the idea of the exponent when it's a fraction needs to be thought of as the power over the root, like square root or cubed root. So we have that right here. So what happens with the m, the power? It goes on the power side. That's a power, like third power, seventh power. The root, the n, goes in where you would have a square root or a cubed root or a fourth root. Now you can also write it like this, same idea, power just right on the letter A, but I really prefer, and I'm going to keep doing it, is I prefer that you use parentheses. It will help you with the harder problems, okay? So here's your power, and here is your root. So let's get started. Now don't forget you may need to use page 4 of your white notebook. Like for instance, we're going to need the cubed root of 8, okay? So it's on page 4 of your white notebook. So here we go. It says write an equivalent expression. Write it using a radical and then simplify. So right now we're in exponent form. So we're going to write it. And don't forget, it's power over root. So we're going to write a radical symbol. I know it's going to be a little silly for these first 3, but I want you to put parentheses just like that. And now we're going to do the power over root. So your root is 2, square root. Power is 1, 16 goes here. Let's do another one. And then we'll come back and we'll simplify them. So the negative 8 goes here. So this is power over root. So cubed root, first power. Let's do one more. So power over root. So first power, fifth root. Now on this one, you do have to keep you don't have to keep the parentheses in the inside. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, so we just wrote these as power over root. Now we're going to simplify if possible. So this one in the inside, it says the square root of 16. Well, that's 4. Bring down the little exponent of 1. 4 to the 1 is still just 4. Okay, let's simplify the inside. What's the cubed root of negative 8? That would be negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So it's negative 2. Bring down that outside power of 1, and it's still just negative 2. And what about the next one? We can't do anything with A because it's A to the hidden 1. C is a hidden 1, but B has 6. And remember, it takes 5 to get out. So if I were to draw those out, we went over those yesterday. There's a group right there. So out comes B, in stays B. So this will be the fifth root of the A. We had a B come out. Sorry about that. Out is B. This is out. And then in is A, in is the extra B, and in is C. And then to the first power would be the same thing. Okay? So there's our first 3 answers. Okay, let's try the next ones. This is where the parentheses are going to come into play. So you draw parentheses, put the 27 in. Power over root, power cubed root, power over root. Now go ahead and do the inside. What's the cubed root of 27? And again, you should be using this sheet, right? So cubed root of 27 is 3. Bring down the square. 3 squared is 9. So our final answer is 9. Okay, the next one. Draw your parentheses. Let me switch pens here. Put your radical in. 64. Power over root. -1 6th root. Now we do the inside of the parentheses. 6th root of 64 is on your chart right here. 6th root of 64 is 2. Bring down the outside power. Anything to negative needs to dive down into a fraction. So we've reviewed those rules. We dive that down. So it'll become a 2 down here, and you always put it over 1, so the answer is 1/2. Okay, let's do another one. Draw a radical, put the 81 in. Power is -3 over 4th root. Then you check your chart to figure out 4th root of 81. So right here is 4th root of 81, so you need to be using this page 4. So the 4th root of 81 is 3. You're going to bring down the outside power. Now it's negative, so we have to dive it down. Remember to dive it down. I kind of ran out of room, so I'm going to write off to the side here. So it's going to come down as 3 to the 3rd. Put it over 1. Remember, when you dive this this term down into the denominator, that little exponent, it becomes positive. Now that could be a final answer, or you can also change that and actually calculate what's 3 times 3 times 3, 1 over 27. Okay, so this is a final answer, or you could also have this one because they're equivalent. They're worth the same, right? Because 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 equals 27. So at this level going into college, you really should have this answer here, okay? All right, so there's our 3 answers for number 4, 5, and 6. And that's all I have for you today. I need you to come tomorrow, be on top of it, because we're going to do the reverse. We're going to write it from radical to exponent, and you'll have a little bit of homework tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Thanks. Have a great day.